Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Algebra 2 Honors. I am here with David Thomas, my father, and I am Mr. T, your teacher today. Today we're going to be learning how to graph conic sections, especially the circle. Well, everyone, let's start off with a little bit of a warm-up. Here we go. Our warm-up, it's a little riddle. What do we think of it?
Millennium. 1 in a million.
Perfect, man. Let's go.
All right, rocking.
Okay, well, now, let's get into today's lesson. Today we're going to start off with a little joke to ease into things. So, why are circles so hot, Mr. Thomas?
Why are circles so hot? Round, big. Circles hot. Sun. Maybe sun. Like the sun.
Because they're 360 degrees. Now, let's pull out our formula sheet, everybody. It's time for the formula.
Got it.
Here you go, and let me know when you're done. Okay, so let me explain. So basically, think of it as two sides of the equation. We have x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, right?
Okay.
So we have the x side of the equation and the y side of the equation. So what you're going to do is you're going to be setting the x side of the equation to 0, right? And whatever value you get for that will be your x-axis value, and when you set y to 0, whatever value you get for that is your y-axis value, right?
Okay.
And whatever you put, when you put those two together, you get your center of your circle, right? Okay. So then your radius is whatever is after the equal sign, right? So in every single equation, the radius squared is what's going to be on the equation. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get the square root of that number, and that'll be your radius. Okay, now that you got the basis, let's move on to the first question. Pull out a regular sheet of paper. Okay, so let's work on this one together. We got x squared plus y squared equals 25. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to set the x equals to 0 and y equals to 0.
This one's pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah, exactly, okay. And your center of your circle, since you've already gotten it, would be 0, 0. Now, the radius, you find the radius by taking the square root of that number. Right?
That's easy. 25 to 25,
exactly. Right? So your radius would be 5.
It's 5.
Okay, now let's graph it. All right, great job. As you can see, you have the answer here, so you did it perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
All right, yeah, you can compare your answers, and let's move on to the second question. So, write it down after me. We have x plus 2 squared.
X plus 2 squared.
Plus y minus 2 squared.
Plus, parentheses, y minus 2 squared, okay.
Equals 16.
Equals 16.
Okay, so now you're going to set your x to 0.
So x, so that's plus 2 equals 0.
Okay, and now you're going to solve that equation.
So minus 2 on this side, minus 2 on that side.
Whatever you do to one side, you do the other.
The other side.
Okay.
So, and then there's minus 2 left. So x on this one is minus 2.
Exactly. Okay, so that's your x-axis, and now let's do the same thing.
Did you say minus 2 or negative 2?
Negative 2.
Negative 2, okay. Okay.
All right, let's do the same thing with the y.
Okay, so this is y minus 2 equals 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we bring this down here, so it's plus 2 on either side.
Okay, and then
they cancel each other out, and I bring that y down.
Okay, so e equals y equals 2.
The plus is 2, so
right.
you say 2, okay.
And then, so you put your center of your circle, write it out completely.
Got it this time, thanks.
Equals, what would it equal?
So parentheses, minus 2, comma, 2.
Beautiful. Okay, so to find your radius, you remember what I taught you before?
Yeah, it's the square root of 16 minus 4.
Okay, so draw it out. And your radius, r equals?
R equals 4, got it.
Okay, so let's get the graphing.
So the graph comes in, y and x-axis.
Okay, so you're going to graph this, so it's negative 2.
It's negative 2 on the x-axis, so I come back 2.
And then you go up 2.
And then go up 1, 2, so it's right there.
Okay.
And then the radius is 4, so 4 each way.
Okay, draw your circle.
It's right there, actually.
Congrats, you just did number 2. Alright, great job. Now let's move on to the final question. As you see, you can compare your answers to what you got here. And you did a really good job. And let's move on to the third question. So, this one, I'd like you to write it down, try it by yourself, and let me know what you get. Okay?
Okay, got it.
Thank you.
Look, Mr. T, I got it.
Great job. There you go. There's the right answer.
Fantastic.
Oh my goodness, Miss Smith. I knew teaching was hard, but I have a whole different respect for you now that I've recorded and done this project. The sheer amount of times we had to re-record and make sure everything was right was incredible. My dad had trouble with completing simple equations, and that is what I thought was the most frustrating for me. For example, when I told my dad that we would do my math final together, he was very excited and couldn't wait to start. But when I told him that we needed to find the square root of 4 for the radius, he confidently said 1 was the answer. I honestly thought he was joking, but then I realized he was being serious and had to start from the complete scratch. The constant re-explaining was another issue as well, because I probably had to repeat things 10 times over for my dad to understand my math vocabulary because he wasn't used to it. Just in general, the amount of props I give you is out of this world because trying to think of what to say is really hard, but the way you explain things just makes it come across so easy. You have really made me evolve as a student and going places where I never thought of. For that, I thank you dearly. I'm going to miss you, Miss Smith, and I can't wait to see you next year.